Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Nyabohansi Shenanigans. Rocio has decided to give me something to talk about. And I'm pretty sure today's live stream I'm going to upset some people. A lot of people. Yeah. Because today, Team Femoch, we're going to disagree on this one today. Okay. And I'm going to be unapologetic on this one. This is that type of video that when I normally do, people like Breman start saying, "Oh, NT, why are you defending Marwa and blah blah blah?" Like, yeah. So I think today this is one of those videos. Yeah, today this is one of those videos, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is what it is, and I'm going to give my opinion just the same way Rocio has also decided to give her story. Okay, and I'm not saying that her story is fake. No, don't get me wrong. And I'm also not trying to dismiss her story because it's her story and she's the one who experienced that story. So I'm not going to take that away from her. It is her story. It's Rocio's story. I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not going to say that, nah, this is not her story and oh, this is the one that should be the story. But I'm just going to look there. There are a lot of things that Rocio said there that do not make sense 100%. Like they make sense to her, of course, and her fanatics and her empathizers, people who pity her situation and all that. It's okay. People who do not want to also use some logic in everything that she said and they want to go with emotions. You see, the problem with going with emotions is that you can miss a lot of things if you decide to go with emotions on this thing. And yeah, she might have experienced what she experienced. Very sorry about that. But one thing that was very clear on that video is that Rocio was a complete victim in this entire situationship that they were having with Marwa. At no point was Rocio wrong or at fault. No, 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 no. In fact, the apology that she even rendered was for the sake of just in case I wronged you, not like I wronged you, but just in case I wronged you, I am very sorry. That to me, ladies and gents, nah, nah. And this is why I'm saying this one today, guys. I'm going to disagree with a lot of people today here, even in my comment section. I'm going to disagree with most of you and some of you, and we will continue. Life must continue. Okay. Breshi, I see you. Thank you, Miss V. I see you. Kavande Muchache is also here. Thank you. I see you, Miss V. I saw you. I saw you, Miss V. I saw you. I was there, and I was even commenting. 2 of my comments were deleted. Others remained. They deleted some, but it's okay. I don't care. I knew still I'll come to do this and say what I want to say. Kavande Muchache, I see you. JC, I see you. Amaechi, I see you. Nice to have you. Ason Thompson, I also saw you. And I saw some lazy gang members' comments being deleted left, right, and center also. Like, yo, dude, what were you expecting? You expecting you got their comment and then they leave you? Nah. Oh, JC, you saying you saw me in the live chat? Yeah, I was there. I was there. Those are some of my comments were deleted, but it's okay. Reshi, Tumbaf, why are you giving us disclaimer? Because I need to. Because I need to. It's necessary. Rocio served cold tea to reactors. Totally. The moderators ran away from Rocio and allowed the haters like Nairobi teacher make shady comments about tomorrow. Hey, that's a side of the story. How will she be wrong? Sometimes you think you are right, yet you're wrong. Back in November, Marwa invited those who don't like the environment to take a short break or don't even bother returning. Yes, I remember. I remember. I remember. I remember. Eva Mila, I see you. I see you, Eva Mila. Nice to have you. Moderators deleted Muzungu. Yeah. Mzungu Pebbles comments were being deleted like flashy candy. Even in fact, anybody who mentioned Muzungu Pebbles, you get deleted. They delete. I'm surprised they even left 2 of my comments because I left 4. They deleted 2. 2 remained. I don't know why, but it's okay. Now we are waiting for Marwa's response. Of course, Marwa will sub. I don't think if he will do it today, he might not do it today, but Marwa will eventually speak about it. Funny thing is that what, like, Marwa has really tried keeping this story private. Okay, Marwa has really tried keeping this story private, not telling people what was happening because he was just like, I think for now, Marwa wanted like, let this thing go low key. Let's just we've separated, yes, but let's go low key, and then it's something like they have an agreement, they had an agreement, but for some reason, the same way Rocio ran away from the villa, leaving without telling Marwa, like Marwa was surprised, oh, we're packing our bags, our clothes, and everything, and we're leaving the village, we're going back to Argentina. Marwa was surprised. I'm pretty sure even this video that Rocio just done has just surprised Marwa the same way. Marwa was not aware. He was just ambushed. Boom. And I know the reason why Rocio is doing that. Okay, it's not like Rocio really wanted to do this. No, 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 no. Ladies, I know that most of you are the ones that are in this comment section, but I want you to look at this logically. I don't want you to look at this in like, don't look at it in a way, not in a way that, but look at it not emotionally. Don't invest your emotions while you look at this subject. Okay, because the things that Rocio was saying, a lot of ladies can relate to it. Okay, a lot of women can relate to that story, and that is why it's making a lot of sense to a lot of ladies and all that. And that is why even some of them were in the comment section crying with her. They crowed and crowed and cried and crowed and crowed. I don't know if it was crocodile tears or it was really crocodile tears or crocodile or it was what, but look at this objectively. Okay, ever since Rocio left, they have been speaking with Marwa, they have been talking, they have been contacting each other. And Marwa has consistently been saying, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my son, my wife, my son, my wife. But all of a sudden, Rocio has just decided to ambush Marwa, boom, without even Marwa's, like Marwa was like, what is happening? Actually, probably he was alerted. Oh my God, you have been dumped. Now, let's look at this official announcement of Marwa being left by Rocio, and then we go step by step, step by step. We analyze these things step by step. And this is why me and T, I'm telling you, ladies and gents, this thing that Marwa is doing is literally, he knows what he is doing. Rocio knows what she's doing, sorry. Rocio knows what she's doing. She's doing it deliberately. And where are you, Rocio? And Rocio does not want to she doesn't want Marwa to continue using her in her videos while saying my wife. Marwa has been consistently saying my wife, Rocio, my wife, Maisha, my child, and all that. So Rocio does not want Marwa to continue doing this. She doesn't want that to continue happening. And this is why Rocio is doing what she's doing. You understand? Now, let's look at this official very special video. Today I'm going to be talking with you. We're gonna have a chat, and today I am bringing some news that I think is time to bring it to the table
I think it's time for me to speak about it and to give a formal announcement. Necessarily, and it's important for me to release all that I am feeling in the best way possible through this video to be able to move forward. I want to formally explain why I left Kenya, what led me to it, and why I didn't give any explanations about my movement. Today, I want to publicly announce that Marwa and I are separated. I am very grateful for my relationship with Marwa because it gave me Maisha, our son. When I left Kenya, I didn't say a word, at least in social media, because I didn't want to make a lot of noise about it. I wanted to be able to live at peace or peacefully. I wanted to be able to process everything that was happening more in an intimate way and not with all the voices from the outside. If me or Marwa would have said something about it, it wasn't an easy decision.
Yeah,
It would be
I think almost everybody knew this was coming, okay, especially as reactors, we knew this was coming. She was bound to speak. Rocio always speaks. I remember when there was some time back when she left, and then we began when we reacted and said she's left and she's left for good. And most of their subscribers actually came to our comment sections, insulting us, even in our video live streams, and saying that no, they haven't separated for good. You guys are just haters. They've just taken a break and all that, bruh. Marwa and Rocio did not separate that day when Rocio was packing her things and leaving, going to Argentina with her parents. Marwa and Rocio were done the moment Gitiriba and Rocio took that truck, had an accident, and Rocio went and held Marwa hostage in Nairobi. That is when their relationship or situationship was done, because Rocio held Marwa hostage in Nairobi for almost a week and even gave conditions for her return back to the village. And it is a subscriber who was even paying for Rocio's bills in that Airbnb that she was staying in Nairobi, Airbnb or hotel or whatever that she was staying in Nairobi. A subscriber was the one that funded that. And that subscriber, by the way, even now as we're speaking, is always in Marwa's comment section and chat, laughing, laughing and doing all that. Guys, oh my God. Hey, Marwa, how are you? How are you doing? That subscriber is there. Okay. That day is when Marwa and Rocio were done. So the moment Rocio came back to the village, that was just to blind people, to make people not to see what was happening. But those people, since that day, that is when they were done. They were just living together because they didn't want to speak. And again, I remember Pebbles. It was Pebbles. If I'm not, actually, it's Pebbles. I don't want to say if I'm not wrong. It is actually Pebbles. Pebbles. We were talking with Pebbles. I think it was one of her community posts, and we said eventually Rocio will come and she will speak and she will say what exactly happened, because she does not know how to keep her mouth shut. Now, Marwa has really tried, okay? Marwa has really tried and he's held this together. Like, they don't want to bring this out in public because they want it to stay indoors. Like, they just want it to be a family affair. The family are the ones that know what is happening, but the rest of the people do not have to actually know what is happening. That has always been Marwa's idea, to just keep it low key. But I bet he didn't know that Rocio is going to throw a bombshell to be the first one, because we know Marwa likes being the first one to do this. Like, Marwa always wants to be the first one, to break the news, to say things, remember this husband and all that. Marwa always wanted to be the first one to do it. But for some reason, Marwa has held this one together. Anyway, I don't know if the reason why Marwa was keeping it together and not saying it because he knew if he says anything, Rocio will come and slander her the way that she's come and she decided to say everything about Marwa. Okay, I'm not even reading your comments because I'm pretty sure by now some people are like, it's her story. That is why I'm looking at the camera today. You're not seeing me like this. I'm looking at the camera today. Yes, it's her story. But do you want to tell me at no point was Rocio at fault in all of this relationship? At no point was she at fault because I never saw her admitting to the fact that she also contributed to the things happening and leading to the way that they led to. So for her, she was the one that was trying to adapt into Marwa's culture. Marwa never tried to adapt to her culture. Marwa was the one that was trying to push things the other way. Rocio was trying to pull him closer. Come on. Like, now let me see what you're saying. But yeah, this live stream has a lot to be unpacked because Rocio has said a lot. She's even dragged Conmam into it and made Conmam. Actually, she even said, like, the way that she said about Conmam, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not Conmam's person or whatever, but the way that she said it with a lot of bitterness and hatred towards Conmam, and I found it very off. For those people that watched Conmam, when Conmam was doing a video with Marwa, okay, and Cleoboni, Conmam literally told Cleoboni, you need to have children, okay? You need to have children. You know, as Africans, you need to have children and this and that and that. So somehow, apparently, Conmam also told Rocio the same thing, okay? But the way Rocio expressed it, it made it look like Conmam forced her to have children. Okay? She did not just leave it at Conmam alone. She also dragged Dimwango in the conversation. Dimwango was also brought in the conversation. And she literally she didn't mention her name, but the things that Dimwango was saying while throwing shade at Rocio, she made sure, okay? Rocio made sure she mentioned it. And I knew whenever she said it, I knew, okay, now this is Dimwango. She finished with Marwa. Actually, she didn't finish with Marwa because she started with Marwa, continued with Marwa, threw in somewhere there Conmam, and then brought in Dimwango somewhere in between there. And this whole thing, like, at no point was it her fault. At no point did Rocio admit that, oh, okay, maybe this at this point I'm the one who did something wrong, or maybe, like, all of this was Marwa's fault. Okay, Namzi, I see you. Welcome to the live stream. Elise Queen, I see you. Rehema Kibwana, I see you. Julsa, I see you. Tinayabro, I see you. And absolutely right. I see you. Appreciate your presence. Also, thank you very much. Nikki Oko Ogu, thank you. I see you. And I know that you have a controversial message there. And it's okay. That is also your opinion. But now this is also my opinion. You understand? That is your opinion, and this is my opinion. And like I said, don't approach these with emotions. If you approach these with emotions, especially if you've experienced something of sort of, you've seen somebody who has experienced this, you will try to relate. You will not look at this objectively. You will try to relate and associate. Okay? Therefore, and again, I want to say this. Marwa has done all sort of things. Marwa has done all sort of things, like he's abused his workers, he's done all sort of things. So it is very, very convenient for Rocio if she comes out and blame Marwa on everything that is happening. It's very convenient, okay? Because she knows she will be believed. And by the way, at this point, if Marwa comes out and says anything, it will be totally irrelevant. Nobody will want to believe him, especially with the kind of record that Marwa has. Marwa has some sort of record. Okay. So it's very easy for somebody, or not for somebody, for a lot of people to empathize and sympathize with Rocio's story, and they will not even care about hearing Marwa's side of the story. Okay? They won't care about hearing Marwa's side of the story. And this is why I always say sometimes, you know what? Women, we are totally doomed. Yep.
A lot of time, a lot of months, a lot of second chances, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of crying. And even though I needed to make this decision of parting because I couldn't take it anymore, but at the same time it was extremely painful and I needed to, and things were getting worse and I needed a change. If I have to be extremely honest, I think a lot of women will relate with me that
What am I saying? She knew this is going to relate with a lot of women that have been in this situation, or at least some of their friends have been in this situation. Some of her friends, like even you, the ones that we are here talking about this, at least you know somebody who was in such a similar situation, or somebody who knows somebody who was in such a similar situation. So it's easy to relate, and it's easy to now get people invested in emotionally, and make people judge. I mean, people's judgment will always be towards you because most people can relate to your story. And that is what she was banking on. And of course, it worked. I'm not saying whatever she's saying or she's accusing Marwa is wrong or it's not her story. I still insist that is her story. Okay, that is her story. But the fact that she is also not admitting to some things that were happening, or she's not taking any responsibility whatsoever. Even the horses and all that, she even began saying, like, it is Marwa. Like, she literally said, that is Marwa. Okay, that is Marwa. And it had nothing to do with me. Bruh. Marwa did all that for her. Just recently, just the other day, Marwa was doing a live stream. Okay, Marwa was doing a live stream, and was it a live stream or a video? Or either a live stream or a video, when Marwa was talking about cars. I think it was a car that was brought in by this boy called this guy. I don't know, this Burundian traveler. He changed his name. So when Marwa was talking about cars, and then he said, when I wanted to buy a car, I wanted to buy a car for Rocio and this and that, because of, not for Rocio, but because of Rocio. But then I figured, instead of buying that, let me just buy, because Rocio loves good cars. I thought, let me buy a Mercedes Benz. Now, Rocio has also come out here and expressed that those cars were not bought for her. Those cars were Marwa's cars. They were not bought for her. Okay, fair. But why were they bought?
woman never lives from one day to another out of nowhere. I think a woman never leaves without first trying to explain, to express herself, to express her needs, to try to make it work, to try to make it better, um, to try, to try. And I'm going to say this because this is something that happened in a lot of relationships where this is actually the moment where men are not really able or open to fully understand us, to fully listen to us, to fully hear us. And this is the moment where we are the most misunderstood. This is the moment when we are called names like either you're crazy, you complain all the time, um, nothing satisfies you, you're so hard to please, um, I work so hard and you don't see, you're ungrateful, and the list goes on, right? But it's very important because we always try to give it a twist. We try to make it work, especially when there is a child involved, like in my case. Then it comes a time when we live. We live first in our heart, and then we live physically. And then from the masculine side is out of nowhere for them. And this is something that happens a lot, not just in my case. I think also in previous relationship, I did experience a little bit of that, and I know it's a very common thing. My relationship with Marwa was a very extreme leap of faith. Um, I think I express and I share this story multiple times that when I met him, I was really praying to meet my future husband, the father of my children, and I was ready to commit for a very serious relationship. But I was living in a place full of movement and travelers. Even me, I was a traveler, and I'm very used to say hello and say goodbye. It's very
Yeah. So when Lucy was talking about her being a traveler, and she also mentioned about YouTube and all that, okay? This is what I want you guys to see. I know you have you have not a very, but you guys have very different opinions on this. But there is something else that I also want you to see, that what Rocio was trying to do here. Remember, Rocio knew that people will come after her about YouTube and probably call her. Okay, I think I just saw one of people commenting here and saying that Rocio came to get views and all that, so she's just interested in views and things like that. So Rocio already anticipated that, and she even addressed it. That is why I'm telling you, this lady took a lot of time to think and come up with this. For her to come up with this, she sat down and thought and thought and thought how she's going to handle this and how she's going to pull everybody on her side, and also try to make it you guys to see that without Marwa, she could still have also done it, because she addressed about YouTube and said, Marwa did not open my YouTube channels. Okay, Marwa never opened my YouTube channels. I had YouTube channels before I met Marwa. Okay, I had YouTube channels before I met Marwa. I just started posting. I wasn't posting, but I just started posting when we met. But I already had YouTube channels. Like, do you know what that means? That means whatever success she's achieved on that YouTube space, please don't credit to Marwa. It's her strength and everything. Even the audience that she has, it's herself. I mean, okay? So please don't even think about coming and calling her as an ungrateful. She's not. She's just trying to explain or trying to put out her own perspective of how she was abused emotionally. I think, okay, she didn't mention physically, but we both know she cannot mention, Rocio cannot sit down and mention that Marwa abused her physically, because she also did the same. Okay, because we know a glass of water went flying towards Marwa, and Rocio was meted by a very nice, wonderful slap to meet the whatever that was, the energy. So she cannot come and say, I was abused physically. So she will have to use that emotionally, because she probably knows Marwa has nothing to say over that.
no, no, no. We just met maybe for a week. and I had no idea who it was on the social media. I believe that sometimes people think, I've read this type of comments multiple times, like she knew what she was getting herself into. And that's not true. I had no idea who he was. Didn't follow him. I didn't know about his existence, his reputation, his history. I didn't know about anything. When I did a little research, I did love what I saw. Not really. And that would actually brought some doubts in should I really give it a try. But I didn't want the internet or the videos to be his reputation and to be judgmental about that, because I know 100% that what you see on the videos is not the full picture. And what you see on the video sometimes it's not even the real person. So I really feel or felt that there was nothing for me to lose. I'm a bold woman. I took many risks before.
Yep. She looked at that, she saw an opportunity, knew there is nothing to lose, but a lot to gain. This is her confession. Okay, we said we want to hear her, right? We want her to speak. Let her cook. She's cooking. She saw this is a great opportunity. I have nothing to lose. She didn't even have whatever she had to lose. What did she have to lose other than her dignity, which already we both know it wasn't there, because where did Marwa get her again? In the Mexican streets. So she's right. She didn't have anything to lose, so she gave it a try.
Left my country alone, and I traveled alone for 4 years before meeting Marwa. I am a very courageous woman. I'm a go-getter. I am most of the time, if it's God willing, if it's God's willing, I get what I want. And I really felt my previous relationship, I was coming from a previous relationship of 5 years, and I had my couple of years single already, and I was feeling like I was ready for that next big stage. I wasn't looking for another boyfriend. That's why I was sharing at the beginning of the video, my heart was already set for my husband. You know, I was ready for that. I was ready to be with someone who I can create a family with, and everything to be more intentional. And Marwa actually saw himself in that way.
So this is another lie. When Rocio met Marwa, she didn't know who he was, right? Rocio said she didn't know who Marwa was at all. And even when she was getting into the relationship, she didn't know who Marwa was. She didn't know he was some big celebrity, internet and all that. Now that is another big lie, because on one of Marwa's live stream, the problem now here when I'm doing this is that I cannot go and pinpoint actually the actual live stream that I'm talking about. But Marwa admitted and told Rocio, I am a YouTuber, I am a celebrity, and it comes with a lot of pressure. Can you be able to handle that? And Rocio said, no problem, we can give it a try. That is what Marwa said on his live stream. When people asked Marwa, how did you guys meet and things like that? That is when Marwa expressed it and said, yo, when we met, when they met on the internet, they didn't know who each other was. But when they met physically, Rocio was told everything. Marwa told him, and then Marwa asked him if he was willing or if he was down to go with a celebrity, and she should know that she'll be meeting a lot of people and things like that, and there is that pressure and things like that. And that is when they actually shared something in common, because in their Tinder profile, it's kind of like Marwa asked, like somebody who knows. No, Rocio was a social media person, because apparently she had 2 YouTube channels. Okay, the one is Rocio Cabrera and Rocio Cabrera Music, where she was posting her content. So they were matched content creators, except one was a bigger content creator, another one was a smaller content creator. But you see here what Rocio is trying to do. Again, she's trying to make it look like, guys, she wasn't there for the money. People are saying that she went with Marwa out because of the money and all. She didn't know who Marwa was. That's another very big fat lie that that woman is trying to put out there. Okay? And this is why I'm telling you, any person who is watching me, watch it with a pair of glasses. Make sure those sunglasses are as big as Marwa's, because me, I'm not going to look at these in an emotional point of view. No, I'm going to be as objective as I can. Probably maybe biased, I don't know, but I'll try not to be biased, because some people will be like, "NT, are you biased because Marwa is a man?" Hell yeah, maybe. Because Marwa is a man, so I'm bound to be biased. But no, I'm just not trying to be biased. I'm trying to look at these facts that Rocio is trying to make it look like she didn't even know who Marwa was. Marwa said it on his own live stream. When they met, he told Rocio everything, and Rocio accepted everything. Even when Rocio came to Nyabohanse, Rocio had already seen hundreds and hundreds of videos about Marwa, and that is why Marwa warned her before she even created her first vlog coming to Nyabohanse village. Rocio had warned her and told her, there are a lot of people who are my haters and they are very jealous of the things that I have accomplished in this life. So when you're coming, be prepared psychologically to also meet the same, because they will talk about you, they will call you names, they will show you my previous girlfriends and all that. And again, look at this objectively. Rocio admitted, and this was after Rocio, immediately Rocio was introduced on the internet. When people now started showing Rocio his previous girlfriends in Thailand, in I don't know where, like okay, you know, all those Paulina and all that. Rocio had now doubts on Marwa because of the videos that she had watched. And she also started digging out Marwa to see if Marwa was actually cheating. So why would she do that to a person that she had already trusted, she had already known? Why would she start digging? It's because Rocio knew who Marwa was, knew Marwa was a cheater, but she still went in because of what she was bound to gain from that. But at this point, she's making it look like they parted ways with Marwa, because at some point, when she was beginning dating Marwa, she noticed Marwa was a cheater, was cheating on her with some other women. That is what she said, not my words, her words. I want you to look at those lies that Rocio is trying to put out there, like she didn't know what she was getting herself into. Guys, come on. Open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes.
When all those fears and doubt came right in front of me, um, I didn't want those fears just to be to stop me for something maybe great that could happen to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so I took the risk, and I flew to another continent, to a new country, alone, to live with a man that I didn't know. I would do that again. I think yes, I would do. I would do that again. Like, I don't regret doing that. Not really, because that move was the one that was going to help me to get to know him, to see how he lives, to meet the family, his background, where he's coming from. Um, so no, I don't regret taking that risk um, at all. I do wish that maybe we would have had a longer time for him to show this conquer part. Yes, I guess that's what it would have been good, like to show more effort, and try to get to know me but things move so fast, and he showed himself so um, confident about it. Like you don't meet people like that every single day. Um, I think we are. I come from this generation where.
So, I want you all to look at this. So you want to tell me that Rocio is saying that Marwa should have taken time to know Rocio and all that, and Marwa moved too quickly. But the question is, wasn't it also her responsibility to also take that time to know Marwa? Right? Because it takes two to tangle, right? I don't believe that Rocio was forced against her will to date Marwa. She knew what she was doing. She knew who Marwa was. Okay, or she knew at least what she wanted to know. For her, she knew what she wanted to know. Marwa also knew exactly what he wanted to know about Rocio. He knew, okay, this one is a cheap one. I'm going to take her. She will not resist me, period. As long as I just show her my YouTube salary, period. You see how Dimongo is going around in Europe showing people a YouTube salary? That is the same thing that Marwa does, especially when he meets these women. Yeah, this is my YouTube salary. So the salary, that is what she wanted to know. She didn't want to know about many things like, oh, how does this guy behave when he's angry? Oh, how does he relate to people? How does he treat his girlfriends? How does he show himself? Whatever. No, those things. No. She wanted to know what she wanted to know. She wanted to know, is he financially stable? You see, like how Marwa was doing this thing that Marwa was doing of Mingo Mingo and all that. What these people are being asked, what kind of a person do you want? He must be financially stable. She must be financially stable. That is all they want to know. She wanted to know if Marwa was financially stable, and that was it for her. She didn't want to know about anything else. So she's here acting surprised, acting all innocent. Aish.
Like put both legs on the boat if you want to come and do this. So I actually did it. Later, I felt very lonely on that boat. Yes, unfortunately, yes. Multiple times I felt very lonely in that boat. But all of this process took 2 years, and yes, the pregnancy came extremely early. Yes, there is a part of me that sees it as a mistake for this fast things happening, no, because don't misunderstood this. Don't take it out of context.
No, we will take it out of context, or rather, we will take it the way that we want to take it. I remember, guys, funny enough, me and T, whenever I see a video somewhere, I usually relate. Like, okay, on trending, on trending, uh, Coco Mama, BBTV, M. Carol. Who else? Even Pebbles Hall. They did a video about Rocio getting pregnant so fast. Okay, like quick fast. She just went in, boom, boom, a baby. She's pregnant. And when they did that video, they said she didn't even get to know Marwa and things like that. She just went in, get a baby, and all that. Immediately, those reaction videos came out. A lot of people, a lot of actually their subscribers began criticizing them. I remember very well. And then Marwa responded to the criticism. No, not Marwa. Damn it. Rocio responded to that criticism and said, I know a lot of people are saying a lot of things about our pregnancy and all that. Remember, we can't do things when we haven't planned for them. We are people who sit down and we plan for things and all that. That is when she was doing that pregnancy reveal. She said it was planned. What happened? Was it saying it was planned because reactors reacted on it? Or was she claiming it was planned because it was actually planned? And now, why is he taking back her words and said it wasn't planned? I'm very sorry, ladies and gents. Me, I will take you slow, 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 and I will take you back to the archives. I'll be taking you back to the archives.
Because I love Maisha, and if I had to do all of this again, knowing that Maisha is coming, I would do it again. But yeah,
all right.
Of course, becoming a mother for me was something that was very, that was deep down there in my heart for someday to happen. And I still want more children, absolutely. But yes, Marwa really pushed that idea for us to do it, for us to build a family, for us to let's have a kid and everything. So I can say that he convinced me, yes. And we were having a lot of pressure from his mother. But to be honest, one day I was recording a video and she came and I was recording and she came to tell me, why you're not pregnant yet?
Now, that is where we go now and talk about culture. Okay, my African brothers and sisters that are in the house, I think you're the only ones who can dig this. Okay, not my African brothers who have been brought up in the West. You can't dig this, but I want to refer to my brothers and sisters that have been brought up in Africa. You guys can dig this and you can dig it very, very well. I'm pretty sure of it. So when Rocio came out, I mean, when she said that Conmam came and put a lot of pressure on her to get a baby, right? Just listen before we go to Conmam and before we now go to culture.
Mother, to be honest, one day I was recording a video and she came and I was recording and she came to tell me, why you're not pregnant yet? And I stopped the video and I deleted. I never showed that video in camera just for a matter of respect to her. But that was a total disrespect to me. She stopped with those things because I
now, where is Kavan de Muchachi? Kavan, yeah, is Kavan in this building? Kavan, I think I see you. And one thing about African mothers is that, okay, I don't know about some other places, but one thing I know is this. Sometimes when these ladies, especially these African mothers, when they say that, it is not like they are literally forcing you to get pregnant when you actually don't want to get pregnant. Okay? Sometimes they say that as banter. But though, yeah, it's banter, they mean it, but still they don't say it aggressively the way the Rocio showed how, like she made it look like Conmam was very aggressive towards that. Now, for me, for your point of reference, I want you to go and watch the video of Marwa when Marwa was talking to Cleoboni. Okay, would we say that Conmam was forcing Cleoboni to have kids? Because when Cleoboni said, I'm not a man or a woman, Conmam said, but I want grandsons. I want at least to have babies. How will you have babies if you are not a man and a woman? You know, the pride of a mother is to see grandkids. Now, will we call that pressure or will we say just it's a concern or something like that? Now, that is where culture comes in. Okay, so Rocio took that as very, very disrespectful. Understood, right? You understand? It's okay. In her culture, they're not used to something like that. I totally understand it. But the way that she has explained it, it made it look like Conmam was literally forcing her to go get banged and get pregnant. Okay? For her, it wasn't like it was a banter or anything. It was, and I believe, do you all remember when we said Conmam and Rocio, things are not looking good among them? We did those reaction videos and we said Conmam and Rocio, they are not together. A lot of people came, insulted us when we said Conmam is disrespecting, Rocio is disrespecting Conmam left, right, and center. She's very, very disrespectful to Conmam. A lot of people came, criticized us, said that you guys, you want this family to separate and all that. Now, you know what we meant by that. Rocio is coming out and explaining because of the pressure that she was feeling was coming from Conmam. That is why she got so upset with her. And we know now what happened in between. And that is why Rocio was having a lot of disrespect towards Conmam. We knew it will come out one day. We always said this. We've always said this because, when we tell people, guys, we know these things. Some of them we can observe from the videos. Some of them were literally told, Conmam and Rocio are not talking. When we come out and we say it, their subscribers will be like, you people like separating families so much. Why are you separating families? You people like to see people not. No, we are saying because we know. And it is because, not subscribers, we reactors react on what is existing there and from what we can observe. The way that they are interacting on videos, we can see that there is an enmity between these two people. And yes, ladies and gents, I believe the enmity between Conmam and Rocio began that time when now Rocio was not getting pregnant. And Conmam was, that African mother was like, hey, when am I going to get my grandson? And most of African mothers, they'll not tell you, when are you going to get pregnant? No, come on. That is trash, okay? Yeah, and I'm saying it the way that it is. That is trash. An African mom will not, no, they will just, they will come and they will tell you, like, hey, when are we going to hear some cries in this house? That is how they usually say. When are we going to hear some cries in this house? That is how they will express their concern, like, yeah. Okay? But not in a forceful manner or anything. No. And probably even white people do that. I don't know, but maybe, probably, I don't know. But yeah, in Africa, yes, when she says that, I believe her. Yes, it happened. But I'm pretty sure it is not the way that she's putting it out there to look like she was being forced and pressurized to get that pregnancy. And me, I will say it as it is.
Her to see had to stop. But yes, she behaved very intrusive with those type of comments. Like, it was very, very, it was like a slap on the face for me, he was too intrusive for me, and I'm not from that culture, so it's very hard to explain. Even if you come and tell me, yeah, but this is the culture, I that's not my background. I wasn't raised with that mindset, so still for me was shocking. When you travel to another country where things are very different, you just don't understand things. For me, some things that are full or that showed respect in a country can show disrespect in another culture.
So can you all see that there is a pattern here now? Yeah, she's trying to show a pattern of why this relationship or situationship or whatever ship they were in did not pan out. So first she attributed it to Conmam, to Marwa himself and cheating, because she said, yeah, Marwa was cheating. Okay. And then she also now tried to drag in Conmam. At this point, I believe she was trying to make her points so strong so that people will actually believe her and go with her on her side why these did not work. And that is why she's literally dragging almost everybody but herself. Okay? Everybody but herself. And that is where me as NT, I'm seeing that is a problem. There is a problem there. Why is it not her fault at any point? Okay, yeah, Conmam said what she said. Maybe, yeah, it was disrespectful to her. She's not used to that kind of thing. You understand? And here in Africa, like, it's not. It's like it was just the other day I was telling you guys some things. Like, There are some many jokes that I would want to say on this live stream, but I cannot because some of you will take it very offensively. But to me, it's just like, bruh, it's like I'm saying hi. Okay. But now because of you guys, so I just keep it to myself and I'm like, okay, I want to say something, but let me just keep quiet because I don't want it to look like I'm being offensive to you guys. But to me, it's okay, it's totally fine. And that is when you're studying something that is okay. We used to study, I studied history somewhere there. And knowing cultural differences is also a thing. And once you learn about somebody's culture, it will be very difficult for you to get offended over someone's culture. Okay? If you actually want to learn somebody's culture, if I have gone to Jamaica, right? And in Jamaica, they're saying bombo, whatever that is, you finish it. And I'm finding them, they're using it and they're just using it and it's like saying hello, hello, you know. So I will put myself in that culture and go with the flow. But the moment I live here, I go to Jamaica and then I want my culture. You are a Jamaican and you're supposed to respect my culture when you actually even don't know my culture in the first place. At least if my partner, let me say, for example, where is June Mackenzie? June Mackenzie is not here. June Mackenzie is not here. But I really feel like Conmam was just getting strays for no reason. Okay? That is my personal opinion. Conmam got strays for no reason. This was now an opportunity for Rocio to learn Conmam's culture and not judge her and anything like that, but learn her culture and all that. Know that when we say this and that here, like in though that culture is now disappearing, we used to have this narrative of like my wife, Mrs. MT, she cannot come and greet my father with her hands. Okay, you get it? It's a real thing. Okay, any Kenyan that is in the building will tell you my wife cannot come and greet my father with her hands. She will just say hi like that. It's culture. So somebody will be like, why? Why is she not saying hi? That is very disrespectful. This woman is very disrespectful. No, 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 no. In fact, it is respectful when she's not greeting my father with her hands. And that one even happens here in Kenya. We have different culture. And when you go to this particular culture, you have to immerse yourself in that culture to understand that culture and behave like that culture. And also they'll try as much as they can to also learn this way. But here in Kenya, mostly if a woman has gone to the husband's side, that means her entire culture, we erase that. Okay, it's a thing. Okay, we erase her culture. She now becomes my culture. You understand? Like now, Mrs. NT cannot claim her ancestral culture from her where she comes from. Her culture, my culture now is her culture. You get the point? Anyway, I'm here now teaching people culture.
It was like a battle of, in my heart, deep down in my heart, I do want to be a mother, but on the other side of my pride, I don't want anyone to tell me what is it that I have to do with my own life, with my own body and everything, you know. So it was a battle inside of me. But one day I was just talking with a friend, and she told me, Ro, you can ask yourself, why is it that all of this bothers you so much? And I was able to understand that there was a lot of fear within me for becoming a mother and for this changing my whole life and everything that for me was to become a mother, which is something that brings a huge responsibility. I didn't take it any slightly, you know. But at the end, I fully surrendered and I fully trusted Marwa, um, that we would do this together, that we would be a team. Or maybe that's what I interpreted, because the behaviors later were very different sometimes. And I learned that maybe a man wants to have kids, and it doesn't mean that he wants to be a father. and maybe he wants to have a wife, but he doesn't.
Wow. 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 Hey, I'm very sorry, ladies and gents. And like I said, me today, I'm going to offend a lot of people. I'm going to offend a lot of people. And thank God, me, I'm unapologetic. I say what I said, and I and I don't back down. How Marwa has always said he wanted to be a father and all that, but according to how Rocio is putting it, is like Marwa just wanted to be. In short, what Marwa is saying is that what Rocio is saying is that Marwa is like Kohera Senior. How? According to Rocio, Marwa just wanted to give the spermatozoa and that's it. And he wanted a woman, but not a wife. He wanted a child, but not be a father. That is what Rocio is trying to put here. And so does that mean everything that Marwa does on camera, trying to sound, to trying to mean to say, oh, my son will have all these and all that. So does that mean all that is fake? Maro saying, oh, I don't know, like I miss my child. The time that they will come with my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. Anyway, I'll come to Marwa's my wife, my wife, my wife, and that statement had to come out because for Rocio to come out with this statement is so that she can shut Marwa up, so that Marwa can no longer use Rocio in her videos or say my wife, or my son anymore. Rocio wants an there is a word that I'm supposed to use. Like she wants an exclusive ownership of Maisha without Marwa's involvement. So basically, Rocio wants to be the only one who will be using Maisha for content. Yeah, that is how I will put it. And I'm sorry, I know I'll offend a lot of people here, but it is what it is. And I'm saying the way that I just see. It is Rocio wants to now 100% use this baby herself, no Marwa in the picture. Okay? Because she has already declared that Marwa is not a present father. Well, it could be true.
That he wants to be a husband. And I kind of learned and I kind of had my lessons about it. Maru and I didn't get married, and I believe that from his side, it was this promise to his subscribers that one day he will. But I never felt this promise. He told me a couple of times, yes, I want to make you my wife. You're my wife. You're my wife. But I doubt it. Also, of course, when things in our relationship got not so nice, he expressed why he didn't marry me and that he didn't want to marry me. And it's okay because that's one of the things that maybe, yes, I got pregnant faster, very fast, but I wasn't going to get married that fast. And I wasn't ready for marriage with him.
Yeah. She wasn't ready to get married with him. So, who wanted a baby here? Marwa wanted a baby and bounce, or Rocio wanted a baby and YouTube fame and bounce? Because, and I know if Breeman, you guys, you know Breeman very well. Eh? If Breeman was on this chat right now, Breeman will be telling me, "Auntie, why are you favoring Marwa and talking like on Marwa's side and things like that?" No, I'm not talking on Marwa's side and things like that. I'm just trying to interpret this thing because at no point is Rocio taking responsibility at all, at all. Like getting pregnant, she's also blaming Marwa, okay? He kind of like pressurized. They pressurized her to get pregnant, and then what? Which woman, seriously, which woman who is self-aware gets pregnant to a man that she doesn't want to get pregnant to? Getting pregnant is not an accident, okay? I'm sorry, ladies, getting pregnant is not an accident. Yeah, to some, I guess to some ladies it could be, because especially it's those ones that have unpredictable patterns, it could be. But in this case, no. This was something that was planned. This was something that was calculated. So one, she's pressurized into getting pregnant, but she knew, okay, she knew as much as she's getting pregnant, she knew she's not going to get married to him. She knew. Make it make sense. And when I came here with a reaction, I think a year ago, something, I said this, Rocio knows exactly what she's doing. A lot of people criticized me and said, Inti, nah. Yeah, even some of my own subscribers, I remember that time, said, no, Inti, no, 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 no. Yeah, this is her saying it very clearly. She knew she's not going to get married to Marwa. She didn't, not she knew she did, she didn't want to, she doesn't want to get married to Marwa, okay? And then she knew all Marwa cheating and all these. And then while they were in Argentina, okay, as somebody already illustrated in the comment section, still while they were in Argentina, for some reason, Rocio thought to come back to Nyabohanse village with this man that she hates so much, with this man that she despises so much, with this man that she already has a distasteful nature towards and all that, because according to her explanation, this did not begin yesterday. It not only began, it did not begin or begin, sorry, it did not begin. English is not even my language, so I'm embracing your culture. At least show me some mercy. Anyway, regardless, according to her, this all did not begin just with a snap of a finger. This began way back. Marwa began disrespecting him way back. Rocio knew Conmam disrespected her, so things were not well there with her and Conmam. Okay, so even when she went to Argentina, things were not cool between her, Conmam, Dimwango, and all that. Things were not cool. She knew Marwa was a cheater. She knew she didn't want to get married to Marwa, but still she went to Argentina, stayed there for 4 months, gave birth, still came back to the village that she never wanted to come back to, still stayed in the village that she didn't want to stay to, okay? Bought land in the village that she knew she didn't want to. Chezeni kabisa.
And I must admit that when he was talking so much about it, because everyone was asking, like, you have to marry her and things must be this quick, and everything seems to be so quick in this environment. I told him, don't propose. But he didn't even know how proposing worked. You know, I come from the Western culture, and if I ever get married, or if I ever dreamed about getting married, we women, we dream about this surprise and beautiful proposal, an engagement ring, and everything. He didn't know anything about it. So anyway, that is the beginning.
So yeah, this was when Rocio wanted. Okay, this is Rocio wanted Marwa to be Alejandro. Marwa was not Marwa. Marwa was just another version of Kohera. Okay, but according to Rocio, she dreamt of this beautiful chariot on a horse. Maybe that is why she encouraged Marwa to have horses. She thought Marwa will propose on top of a horse. You understand? Wake up, Rocio, wake up. Okay. She thought this is going to be a fantasy proposal and things like that, but Marwa is like, okay, it's not funny, but I just want to put it out. Marwa is like, guys, my wife Rocio, while Rocio is in the bedroom, she's surprised to hear that she's already a wife, and there was no proposal. So he's like, wait, what? I'm already a wife? No chariot proposal, no nothing. She wasn't even told. She's not even called my wife. Like for her, she's called mom, mom, mom. But on videos, Marwa is like, yeah, guys, me and my wife Rocio, we want to tell you something. We want to give you an announcement, and maybe my wife can come and she's like waiting for the wife, like, oh, you mean me? I'm the wife. So she will come there frowning her face and all that because she didn't know she was a wife. She was waiting for a proposal. So yeah, I agree with her there. Marwa disappointed her. Marwa skipped all this. Marwa skipped proposals, skipped the wedding, skipped the certificates and everything. Marwa went straight to wife, and he's done, and he goes to look at his host tables. So somehow that was Rocio was like, bruh, damn it. No horse carriage, no proposing in the mountain, like how Dimango lied that I was proposed to. Was it Dimango throwing shade on Rocio or something? Because she said, hey, guys, my proposal was so nice. It was in the fireworks and don't know what. Okay. But yeah, Marwa, Rocio knew who Marwa was. He knew how Marwa was behaving. So, like, why is she acting like she was surprised and all this? Damn.
How fast everything moved. And honestly, I opened my heart for things to work. I never go anywhere thinking that it may fail. We should be walking in life thinking that things will work, even if they don't. Um, I've always been a long-term relationship person. As I said before, I was coming from a 5 years old relationship, and I always commit to people, even if there's my mindset about marriage was very different. I do appreciate that my relationship with Marwa changed my mindset about motherhood. It opened my heart to motherhood, so I'm very grateful for that. Because now it showed me that yes, I do want to be a mother, and I do want more. Um, and it opened my heart to know that I do want to get married, and I do want the wedding and everything. Yes, because I was quite like 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 I don't care, with this mindset. So I'm very grateful for that new mindset that brought to my life. I believe that things started to change throughout the pregnancy because we didn't know each other. So we started to get to know each other during the pregnancy. So during the pregnancy, I cannot say that I'm the same woman, because hormones and everything. So things that maybe were not, I think that actually was a very good lesson to know what type of questions I should ask.
So she, during the pregnancy, okay, is when now she began learning Marwa. And she knew Marwa very well. Okay. Now during the pregnancy, she knew Marwa and all that behaviors. Is not romantic, is not anything that she would want in a man. Now this is where the hypocrisy comes in. She still came back to the village. Why? Why go where you're not wanted? Why still go back where you weren't wanted and things like that? And this is why, for me, I strongly still believe that she had her own agenda, and the agenda was to get as many subscribers as she can get, so that by the time she will leave, she will now start getting her own income on her own, being independent and all that. But still, remember, guys, whenever Rocio was going through whatever she was going through in Nyamuhanze, there was a woman who was supporting Rocio. And I know the woman very well. Okay. She's Marwa's subscriber. In fact, she's a moderator on Marwa's channel. She's the one who funded the place where Rocio was living. And also the one who was to buy a ticket for Rocio to go to Argentina when they held Marwa hostage in Nairobi. Okay, for those ones who remember how Rocio held Marwa hostage in Nairobi, that he has to come to Nairobi to pick her, but she's not, or else she will leave to Argentina. Marwa had to swallow his pride and go. Okay, and then came back and said, guys, I will not talk about my family, and I'm not going to say anything about my family. You people respect my family, and that's it. We see, we can also see that you are being respected with your wife here only. Hey, hey. Okay, to be honest, guys, we have to give Marwa credit on this. With all these happenings, Marwa could have already come out and blabber and said and said and said and said, but for some reason he just held back, held back, held back, held back. And Rocio was the one who decided now to come out to be the first one to give us this juice. Now, this is what Marwa will do, obviously. He will not say anything. He will wait and wait and wait until the views have dropped. You know, the viewership has dropped completely. Take this to the bank. Kavan, remind me this day. Marwa will wait when the views have dropped completely and he feels like, damn, how am I going to revive this view? And then, boom. Guys, I want to tell you what happened between me and my wife, or the mother of my child. That is when Marwa will drop the bomb. And then the views will be, and then Judy Moyo will be there. Oh, Marwa, I knew it. Oh, Marwa, I knew it. Bruh, you knew it. You knew from the start. Hmm? She returned hoping she could get married to Marwa and take his house and asset, then divorce. Nikki Ogo, Paris is Bega Marwa's woman in the village. Damn. Why is Paris getting stressed? Oh, Nikki has said, and who was Marwa cheating with in the village? Because she said Marwa had other women. Yeah, she did say that. She did say that. And I think I said it when I was beginning this video. She did say that Marwa had, I mean, there were other women. She later found out that Marwa was cheating on her with multiple, not just one woman, multiple women. So it's not just Paris. If you're saying Paris, it's not just Paris, okay? So Rocio literally came back to get all these subscribers and all that. And then I want you to look at this. And like I said, look at this objectively. And please, while you are looking at it, like the video. Rocio was testing the audience. All these, especially the last 10 videos, actually not 10 videos, the last about 8 videos, Rocio has been putting Marwa's audience on a test. The likes of Judy Moyo, Janet Harris, whatever, they have been put to test countless times. How? Rocio says, comes, throws shade on Marwa publicly, and then goes, and then looks at how people are responding to it. She goes, she comes back again. She says, oh, Marwa cannot even protect me. Look, people are attacking me that I slept with a black man and blah, 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 that I'm a racist and things like that. Marwa is not protecting me, guys. Are you seeing? She wants to see how are these people going to react. Now, after she says that, she drops a video, waits and see how many views are these videos going to get after I have criticized Marwa, because she clearly knows the views came, most of these people are coming from Marwa's YouTube channel. Okay, so she drops something to Marwa and then she waits and see what is the reaction going to be. Are people going to be on my side or are they going to be against my side? Then she will see the normal hardcore Marwa subscribers are still there. Oh, Rocio, it's okay. You just speak, woman, speak. Go ahead. Now, after she knows how the reception is going to be, she now trusts in herself, believes in herself, believes that even if I throw the bombshell of the year, people still have me. They're not going to go anywhere. They are here with me. And that is when Rocio came out and that is classic toxicity.
first date or at the beginning of our relationship, that I didn't know or I didn't ask with Marwa. Once again, I just jumped into the pool. Like, let's go, let's try. That was my how everything initiated from my side. Like, okay, fears, move out. Here I go. That's the way that I enter into this relationship, hoping for the best. Of course, was hoping for the best. And once again, we had a lot of mutual connection. We in the terms in the way that we wanted to live our life as well. We were both very into social media. I already had my YouTube channel, and when I set my mind to do this more professionally on social media, he appeared into my life. Marwa wasn't someone that came and told me, "Oh, there is this YouTube. Why don't you open your YouTube and start your YouTube?" I already.
So you see, she's demystifying those people that will come and say, "Oh, you even have a YouTube channel because of Marwa. Marwa is the reason why you have a YouTube channel." Okay, she already wants to get that out of the way so that you should not come and say the ungrateful Rocio who came without a YouTube channel and now has left with a YouTube channel. Damn. I hope, I don't know, but I guess I'll continue listening and see if she actually gave Marwa credit for the growth of the channel. Because, yeah, it's not like Marwa introduced everybody to YouTube. No. But at least because of Marwa, Rocio got to where she did get. Okay? She got to where she did get because of Marwa. She had the channels, yes. In fact, this channel that she's posting on, that channel had nothing on it. The only channel that had things on it was the other one. But this channel had nothing. She started posting when she was coming to Nyambo Hanse. Let me confirm this. Okay. This is Rocio, and this is the YouTube channel, and this is the oldest video on the channel, which while she was leaving Argentina, these are the videos, 3 minutes video. The videos could barely even get any views. The first video that Rocio did coming to Africa was this video, and it got 45,000 views. That is when she was coming to visit Marwa. The rest are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos of songs which did not even get 2,000 views. But still, she doesn't want to give Marwa for that YouTube success that she has. And then she will say, "You guys stop calling me ungrateful. You guys stop calling me ungrateful." Okay. It doesn't mean Marwa opened her channel. No, he didn't. But at least Marwa helped her to get where she is. And that is why she was clinging on to Marwa despite of the emotional abuse that she claims she was emotionally abused and all that. Like all that she's claimed. Like I said, I'm not the one who went through it. She's the one who went through it. It's not my story. It's her story. I'm just here trying to put some A and B together and demystify the things that she's trying to lie about. You understand? Like, I didn't know, guys, I just got pregnant. It wasn't planned, blah, 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 and the things like that. And then initially she said, we planned for these. Those are the lies. Mm.
I already had my YouTube channel. I wasn't being that consistent. I wasn't posting. I wasn't doing. Even if I show you if you check the year I opened my music channel, is even older than Marwa's. But I felt in that moment of my life that I was just wasting a lot of my traveling time that I dreamt and I didn't want. I wanted to travel and to show the world and to make videos while traveling, and I wasn't doing it. So when I said, okay, I will do it, I met Marwa. But I kind of wasted like almost 4 years of my life traveling and not filming. So everything for me was a sign also that I needed to move with him. I felt that it was going to be ideal to travel together and to make our videos because we were both doing the same, and to push each other in our careers. So everything was like a good sign. The lifestyle about just traveling the world and living somewhere that is surrounded by nature as well, pretty much disconnect from the chaos of the city. That was also the things that I wanted in my life. So there was a lot that was, let's say, on my favor, that was showing that things could work.
That is it. Financial motivation, what she could gain from Marwa. So that was the motivation from this. For her to date Marwa, it was about what she was going to gain in this relationship. Okay. And I think it's good to be fair and for her also to be honest with this and just tell people like, yo, you know what? This was my motivation behind this. Other than coming and now playing like making it look like you have been forced to do everything that you are doing. Everything is being forced on you. When we both know you are an adult, all this that you did because you wanted to do them. You didn't do them because you were forced by anybody to do them. Nah.
There was a lot of potential. I guess we started to see the ugly part during the pregnancy, and we tried and we tried and we tried. Of course, um, even though there were many painful moments, then I couldn't have separated during the pregnancy. Like, no, crazy, not even crazy, because one, I didn't want to go through it alone. Number two, I wanted Marwa to be there for the birth. I wanted to get to know him. I wanted to see his very dreamed baby. I know how important this having a child was for him. So I wouldn't have thought about um, like an official separation through pregnancy. No, but we were stumbling a little bit, but trying and trying. Um, there were like thousands of advices of how hard marriage is, and even though we were not married, I kind of feel like we both adopted this feeling of marriage, of believing that we are a marriage couple, a married couple, and we have to fight together.
Yeah, marriage couple, but at no point did Rocio ever say Marwa, my husband. Marwa was the only person who was referring to Rocio as my wife, my wife, my wife. But remember, Rocio said that she's the one who was trying so much and Marwa never tried. Like she was trying, but Marwa was not adjusting. Marwa was still opinionated on his opinions, period. Okay. But Rocio was the one that was trying to put the marriage together. Whatever, because she said here that she felt like now they are married. She felt like some kind of marriage thingy that was now happening. And she was the one that was pushing and trying, but Marwa wasn't. But I've never had her call Marwa husband, but Marwa was the one that was calling her wife, though she says that she felt like they're married.
So even in the ups and the downs, let's keep going. So from my side and from my heart, that was how I adopted. Later happened the Labor Day, and something that I expressed is that I felt abandoned by him, and a lot of people judge me by that, but no one can take away what happened and that he did what he did. It's very sad that a lot of women are defending this or going against me just for the culture, for the man.
So listen to me, okay? Rocio says it is very sad that a lot of people defended Marwa because of culture, because they believe that Marwa abandoned her during the pregnancy and went to sleep, left her while suffering and all that because of culture. So people said, oh, it was because of culture and all that. So she felt like, why are they feeling like Marwa needed to be defended because it was his culture? Rocio, wait a minute. But you, Rocio, felt offended also when Conmam tried to impose her culture on you, right? Conmam said, you should get pregnant. You felt disrespected because she crossed a boundary, right? And that it is a Kenyan culture, okay? No, it's not actually a Kenyan culture. It's an African culture for a mom, a mother-in-law to be like concerned, right? Anyway, so it was okay. It was not okay for Conmom to cross that boundary while imposing her culture on you because that is not your culture. But it is okay for you to get offended because Mara was being defended by these women saying that that is not his culture and that is why he wasn't in the deliver room with you. I'm not saying what Marwa did was fine, okay? It wasn't. But for her, she would rather her culture be respected left, right, and center. But this other person's culture should not be mentioned, especially if this other African culture will interfere with her culture. So her own culture should be prioritized than the African culture. That is how I see it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call toxicity or a toxic person. This is her getting offended because of Marwa left the room and people defended Marwa and said it's because of culture. And she's saying, no, you don't have to bring that culture to me. Me, I have our culture. So we go with our culture.
And talk trash about Marwa or anything, but there were a lot of things that were wrong and that shouldn't happen in our relationship, and that's what pushed me to make this decision. And yes, I feel mad, I feel disappointed, I feel sad that things didn't work. Yes, of course. It was a very painful process. That's why I kept quiet and silent when I left. Um, but I had to. I I know how hard I tried to make a living in the village, but honestly, it was very hard for me. It's funny because sometimes some people say that happiness comes within us, and yeah, that is a part that is true. But the environment.
Now that was Dimwango's pickup line. Okay, like I said, she spoke about Conmam, spoke about subscribers, spoke about Marwa, spoke about Dimwango. Now this is where Dimwango comes in. Okay, when she said that people said happiness come within us, that was the moment when she was so sad and sad in Nairobi, and then people blamed it on Dimwango. Okay, of course Dimwango had a lot to do with it because Dimwango was the one that was making Marwa a big-headed whatever. So people came for Dimwango, and Dimwango decided to defend herself. And when Dimwango was defending herself, what did Rocio do? I mean, what did Dee say? Dee said, you cannot force me to impose happiness on a person. Happiness comes within one's self. That is what Dimwango said. And she's here quoting Dimwango. And then while quoting Dimwango, she also tried to make it to tell you guys that, yes, as much as Dimwango said that happiness comes within oneself, also remember the environment was also not conducive for her. By environment, what do we mean? We mean Dimwango herself there at her home. She was like now the replaced wife of Marwa because Marwa was now like, no, no more. My wife, this, my wife, no, Marwa was my sister, 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 sister. So I don't even know if Marwa was doing that deliberately just to piss her off or what. Because clearly there was a lot of things that was already happening. All right.
But honestly, it was very hard for me. It's funny because sometimes some people say that happiness comes within us, And yet, that is a part that is true. But the environment is very important. I think Marwa met the happiest woman in Mexico.
Really?
I slowly started.
Okay. If you have ever seen Rocio doing a video with Marwa in the village or traveling to Malawi, South Africa, and you saw Rocio laughing like, please raise your hand up. If you've ever seen a video of Rocio laughing, raise your hand up. She said Marwa met a happy woman. So do we say that Marwa made Rocio's life miserable, made him unhappy? Can we say that? Can we say that now Rocio's happiness was completely put off and whatever because of? So Marwa, you took away somebody's happiness. Damn, guys. Okay. I think Rocio is a very, very wonderful person. To sway an audience, okay, into her favor, like really, because she pretty much did that. Okay, let me see what somebody is saying here. Camila is saying, until Rocio and Marwa were in contractual relationship, it didn't work out. They should just close their mouth and walk away, take care of their kid. Done. Exactly. It was a matter of what are you going? You're going to get me. I'm going to have a baby, and you're going to have YouTube views. So we are done. We're done. Okay. Moral is Rocio is switching completely into Argentinian side of things. And the reason why I'm saying Rocio is switching, you can even see her narrating this story. She has interpreted it in Argentinian. So I don't know if she did that because she knows her family watches her video who are Argentinian, because she does not have any Spanish viewers who do not understand English. All her Spanish viewers understand English because those Spanish viewers are the ones that came from Marwa's channel. Remember, Marwa has subscribers from Spain and all that. So she did this interpretation because she wants the message to get out clear and clear, so that Blue Ocean, if you want to approach now, this is the time. Remember, guys, when Rocio left and Blue Ocean sent Rocio $100, immediately Rocio left the villa. She sent Rocio $100 on Super Chat. Okay, now, just recently, okay, this is why I'm telling you this is so malicious. And okay, just recently, Rocio was doing videos while showing people her boobies. I'll say it as it is. She was doing videos showing people her boobies, expressing her boobies left, right, and center. Doing, those videos that she was doing, no bras and all that. Even women were like, bra, where bro, bra? Or bro, where bra, bro? Okay. So people were like, wear bra. No, she didn't want to wear those bras and all that. Bra, for what? She is open. She is now for sale. Okay? And she got attacked by some bots. When I told you that was Marwa, believe me, it was Marwa who was doing that. Okay? That is the reason why she was doing those videos without bras on, because she knew people will approach her. And probably even now, as we're speaking, multiple people, multiple passport bros already approached her because of that single video, but because the entire audience know that her and Marwa are still together, there is no way she can take on somebody else. So maybe it's even pressure from that other person that she's seeing who told her, now you need to make this public. And this is why now she decided, you know what? We've got to take this public so that all these Marwa people should know, if they see me with a man, if they see me with a man at any point, they should know that me and Marwa, we parted ways. Remember the night that Rocio left the baby and went out and said it was the best night of her life? She went to the movies. She went to the movies, left the baby, left everybody, and she said, That was her best night of her life in a very long time. She's sneaky. This one is sneaky. Okay. Rocio went back to Nyabohanse to plan her exit. Mberesha Nixon. Yep. A lot of people have started unsubscribing from Rocio. Damn. No way. Oh yeah. Yes, way. That was bound to happen. Audio check and T. What? No, the audio is fine. Auto 718, the audio is fine. You're saying that the audio is fine. She says she thanked God for sending her family to the villa when in fact she threatened her parents that if they didn't, she will never speak to them again. Tigis, I see you. Thank you so much. Shayar, I also see you in the building. Appreciate you. Within the next 2 months, we will see how long Rocio's YouTube channel will stay strong within these 15 minutes of fame with Eva Miller. That is something that she didn't count on. Marwa's people, they will watch that video. In fact, that video that Rocio has made, who is willing to bet with me, it will get 50,000 plus views. And then the next video that Rocio will do, it will get 40,000. The next 20, the next 15, 10, 4, and start struggling with Nairobi Teacher at 3,000 views. You wait and see. Marwa's people can be very cruel. Hey, those people, don't joke with them. Marwa's people are the most cold people on planet Earth. You know, they've been lying to her in the comment section. Oh, we are with you. You have Marwa's baby and all that. But trust me, give Rocio 10 videos. She'll start like, guys, I think me and Marwa, we even spoke on the phone. Look, I even have a screen record. Let's show you. I was showing Marwa his baby and all. You guys wait, you will see. You will see.
To become smaller.
But again, she's branching. She's switching her content. You can see she's now putting poco a poco comienza a cambiar. She's Spanish now, so
change. And I was fighting this battle, trying to make things work. But I felt very lonely on the boat, hundreds of times. And I'm not talking about being alone or the solitude, which is something that I'm very used to, and I love my solitude. But when you feel lonely when being with someone, I felt that 3 times more painful. I did try to have a lot of compassion from his background. Marwa grew up in a very harsh environment, and
it's very hard. And I'm also finding it very difficult how people are not seeing what Rocio is doing here, literally. Like she's manipulating and coiling this to make it look like she really, in fact, saved Marwa. You see how she's even putting it? Like, guys, this guy suffered in her background. He had a very background, a very bad background. So what I was doing is feeling empathetic towards his situation and accommodating him because of whatever he went. Like, how can people not see this?
Marwa grew up in a very harsh environment, and what he learned as love is very different from what I learned. So I did try to be compassionate about it and to have empathy and to understand that sometimes you cannot give what you don't have. And from my side, I did try very much that we both teach each other like these love languages. the way that we show love and we receive love, it was very different. Um, I feel like he was expecting from me to give him something that it wasn't coming naturally because I wasn't receiving what I needed from him.
Which was?
You know, like if you understand that, that was the issue that was happening, and I think
the issue that she's talking about, it's because somehow she felt like Marwa was disrespecting her opinions. Okay, she felt like Marwa was not following her opinions and not being firm with her opinions. She felt disrespected. And in one example that I can give you all was when Rocio came out and said that, guys, this is my bila, and from today, this bila is not open for anybody, and nobody should step in this bila ever again. Every person that comes in this bila is using Marwa for views and for content and for all that. But on the other hand, Marwa still wanted people to come to him. Marwa still wanted people that he can use for content. But Rocio was driving these people away from her, from him. So Marwa felt like, yo, is this my house or your house? I want people to come. Let people come. That is when Rocio went and said, these people are parasites. Okay, that is where for those people that are just joining this reaction niche recently, this is why we call Rocio parasite, Madam Parasite. Okay, she blocked the villa for everybody. Marwa refused. Marwa allowed people back in. So she felt Marwa disrespected him for allowing people back in the villa. You understand? So she wanted Marwa to be as mean as herself. You see the way that Marwa's subscribers are very mean and tell Marwa, oh, throw that person out. Oh, do this to that person. And then Marwa is like, no, I'm not going to do that. That is now the type that Rocio also wanted Marwa to be, not knowing, or maybe she knew, but she didn't want to admit it, because Marwa wanted the influx of people. Marwa wanted these people to come with their stories and all that so that he can get views, get money. But Rocio does not want these people. So they began clashing from there. Okay? I remember even them having an argument about horses. Rocio is like, no, we should do this with the horses. Marwa is like, nah, we're going to do this with the horses. So Rocio is like, oh, so it looks like I don't have an opinion in this marriage.
never able to meet each other in the middle. Unfortunately, a lot of ugly things also happen in the middle.
Ugly things. Okay. In the meantime, before we talk about ugly things, ladies and gents, hit that like button, okay? Like the video. We only have 60 likes. 68. Yeah, let's make it 80 at least. Let's make it 80. So there are a lot of things, ugly things that happened. And one of those ugly things is the one that I said. The Rocio throwing the water towards Marwa, a glass of water towards Marwa, and Marwa descending on her.
Not going to talk about.
Yeah, she won't talk about it because she knows how ugly that scenario was. So she won't talk about it.
But yeah, the weight of all of that led me to make this decision, to make promises about improving, making things better. Words disappear in the wind. I think we reached a point where he was expecting from me to do certain things, and I was expecting from him to do certain things, and it was an ego fighting on, you have to start, no, you have to start, no, you have to do first, no, you have to do first. I do feel like the man must lead the relationship, that he's supposed to be the head of the family, and I do feel I allow him that position. But I also do believe that a good leader can also should be a good listener and should take advices from other people.
And accountability for his actions. Just imagine Rocio talking about Marwa taking accountability for his actions. It's here, it's typed. She typed here and take accountability for his actions. It's there. I hope you can read it. But funny thing, Rocio never took accountability also for her actions because all we can see is her blaming Marwa left, right, and center. Marwa this, Marwa that, Marwa this, Marwa that, Marwa this. Okay, what about you? Like, you mean you are the angel in that entire relationship? Okay. I even called her Angel Magdalena in their comment section. I thought they will even delete the comments. They didn't delete. I was surprised because they deleted others. They left that when I said, okay, Rocio, Angel Magdalena. Because, guys, there is no way that me and my wife will be having issues. And every time it is just me blaming my wife, blaming my wife. Like, at some point, there is also somewhere that I'm also wrong. You understand? And it's important at least to also take responsibility. But now she's telling Marwa here to take accountability for his actions, yet her herself is not taking any. So, in short, for everything that fell, it is because Marwa never tried. She's the only person who tried. She gave it all. Marwa never gave it anything. Okay?
Should be really open to listen to the woman next to him. Sadly, in this relationship, I didn't feel hurt. I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel loved a lot of time. The typical opinion is, Rocio, he bought you a car, he bought you the horses, you have a big house. That's not my love language. The car was mine, number one.
Okay. Didn't Marwa say just recently in a video that he did that he bought a car because of Rocio? Anyway, for those people that have known Marwa for quite some time, if Marwa wanted to buy a car, he would have bought cars a long time ago. But all these things that Marwa was buying, it was because of Rocio. But for some reason, okay, we understand. Rocio said, that is not her love language. But she was very happy when these things were bought, even when the horses were bought and Marwa bought the horses literally because of Rocio. She denied it. She said, Marwa made that decision to buy horses, not me. Okay? In short, everything is Marwa's fault. Okay? You say whatever you want to say, but just know everything is Marwa's fault.
The horses was a very beautiful act of love from him, yes, and he knows how much I appreciate it. And maybe if I need to be clear about the business with the horses that Marwa started, I have nothing to do with it. A lot of people think it's my fault that he's buying and he got crazy. Marwa just gets obsessed with things and there's nothing that you can stop him. I didn't agree in a lot of things with that business, and he didn't like it when I disagree on things, so I couldn't say much of my opinions. I felt that I didn't have a voice in a lot of moments, and that's why I don't want to be seen in the business idea with the horses because I don't agree. I don't agree. One thing is something very different just to have a couple of horses for personal use, and then another one to have a business with a lot of horses, extremely expensive ones, and everything that take that is Mara's idea, and I do hope for the best. But when I disagree and when I express my opinion, I was the worst. I was his enemy. It was very difficult to deal with that. One of the things that would have been when I said at the beginning that I was ready to commit with someone, I was ready to be an empire. So,
yep. she wanted to build an empire with Marwa, but unfortunately, Marwa never wanted that. Marwa listened to his own ideas. Marwa went with his own ideas. So whatever Rocio wanted apparently was being ignored. Okay. And that is what she found mostly very, very offensive. And I'm pretty sure most of you can even agree with me. One of those things that she really did find very offensive is when Maro was relating with family members and things like that. And because family members were not agreeing with Rocio. And so I think her expectation, one of the expectation was Marwa can also cut off his own family members so that he can be able to accommodate Rocio's wants or whatever that is. Okay. That is also one of the reasons why she got so mad. And the people coming in, the influx of strangers coming into her compound. Okay, so there is like literally there is a lot that we can say about this. If I even begin analyzing this Rocio's video, I can finish in 3 hours. And today I've even extended my 1 hour 40 minute limit time. I usually like being under 1 hour 40, but today I have gone so much. So yeah, I think this is time for me to bounce. However, I'm not done with this reaction video. I will do a continuous video tomorrow, especially going to look for other videos of Rocio contradicting herself where she's trying to explain things here. Otherwise, other than that, if you have not liked the video, like the video as we leave. I see Lois Lais. Lois Lais is in the house. Lois Lais, my friend, your father, Mr. Kohera Sr., has cast Marwa and said he will never see Maisha. And it has come to pass. Damn. Guys, Marwa needs to apologize to Kohera. Because the way things are unfolding, it will never work out for him without not even apologizing. It's not even a matter of apologizing, it's just a matter of mending things. Marwa needs to mend things with his own father. On a very serious, this one I'm speaking on a serious note. Like they just need to sit down, forgive each other, and talk and just release whatever they have in their hearts. Marwa is taking this thing as a joke because he's being influenced by some people there in America who know nothing about African culture. You keep on ignoring your father, my friend. You will know. You will know. You will know. I'm telling you. He's your father. Just because Janet Harris have super slaps with $10 goes and insult your biological father. Yes, he donated the sperms. It's fine, but it's still the sperms that brought you to earth. You really, like Marwa needs to take this thing very seriously. Sit down with Kohera, mend things, talk. They don't need to be friends. They don't need to be, oh, my dad and all that. They don't need to do that, but they just need to have a conversation, talk. Let Marwa pour his entire heart out to that man. Let the man apologize to Marwa. And also, if Marwa apologizes for the recent insults that he's been throwing towards the old man before that man dies, because that man will die. He is on that age where he is living his bonus life. And he needs to go there before the man goes away. I'm speaking it as it is. Just mend things. You don't need to be friends. You don't need to accept anything from him. Anyway, whatever. They will not even follow my advice. So but at least I've put it out there. Anyways, like the video. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. And I will see you in the next. This is one of the longest live streams I have ever done. Any person that just came late, just know we appreciate you. We appreciate you and we love you on this channel. Like it. I'll definitely continue with Rocio's reaction. I know it's 9. We have some other people that I know definitely they want to do this reaction, so I don't want to like take the entire day. Anyway, I can do that also. Anyway, let me go. Bye guys. See you in the next one.